Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya
Jaya
Nityananda
Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya
Jaya
Nityananda
Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai
Jai
Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki Jai
Jai
Srila Prabhupada ki Jai
Jai
Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai
Jai
Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's uh, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita reading. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 3. This is the beginning of the pastimes of Mahaprabhu's pastimes after accepting sannyas. That's actually the beginning of Madhya Lila. So this chapter is entitled Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's stay at the house of Advaita Acharya. So after accepting sannyas, Mahaprabhu came to Advaita Acharya's home, but we didn't get there yet. Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas, and after accepting sannyas, Mahaprabhu wanted to go to Vrindavan. So Mahaprabhu took sannyas at Katua. And from there, along with some associates and even his sannyas guru, Keshav Bharati, they started traveling. So we saw Mahaprabhu travel for 3 days in the land known as Radha Desh, which is actually upper branch of Rashtra Desh. And then we saw while Mahaprabhu was traveling, he was constantly reciting this verse, chanting this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, the verse which was spoken by the Avanti Brahmana. What is that verse saying? That by taking shelter, by being firmly fixed in the shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, I'm going to cross this ocean of nations, of material existence. Again and again, Mahaprabhu is chanting this verse. So, yesterday or in the last 2 classes, we discussed the significance of Mahaprabhu's chanting this verse because he had just accepted sannyas. And what type of sannyas? This was from the Advaita school or Shankaracharya school, who And then we in Srila Prabhupada's purport, we studied the details about this sannyas. Sannyas is not simply a change of dress, and it doesn't mean that by changing the dress now I have become Lord Narayan, which is the notion, which was the popular notion. But Mahaprabhu made it a point to show, and then we also read about the significance of Tridandi and Ekadanda sannyas. Because Mahaprabhu took sannyas in the Advaita school, he was given Ekadanda, and their understanding of Ekadanda is Tattvam Aikya Jnanam. That means I am that Aham Brahmasmi, right? I am that Brahman. I am that Brahman. There's only one Brahman, and I am that Brahman. But Tridandi sannyas means I am, my body, my mind, and my words are completely dedicated to the devotional service of the Supreme Bhagavan. So also we saw Vishnu Swami, who is from the Rudra Sampradaya. He said that also we discussed what is Paratma Buddhi. What is Paratma Nishtha? Yeah, not Buddhi. Paratma Nishtha. Paratma Nishtha means complete dedication to the devotional service of the Lord. That is sannyas. Sannyas means complete dedication to the devotional service of the Lord. And how do you show that? When you accept a Tridanda, that means my body, my mind, and my words are completely dedicated to the service of the Lord. That is your vow. When you accept a danda, Tridanda, that means from now onwards, from this moment onwards, my body, my mind, and my words are completely dedicated to the devotional service of the Lord. They are not mine anymore, right? They are meant for the devotional service of the Lord. So therefore, Vishnu Swami said that this Tridanda is also a sign of Paratmanishta. It is Paratmanishta. Paratmanishta is seen as acceptance of Tridanda. Also, we saw in the very beginning of purport, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that acceptance of sannyas, and what is that sannyas? That's also qualified. Sannyas means anashritaha karma phalam, karyam karma karotiha, sa sannyasi cha yogi cha, na niragnir na chakriha. This is Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, text 1. Anashritaha karma phalam, one who is not attached to the fruits of his karma, he is actually a sannyasi. Not that he won't do anything. He'll be doing everything. He'll be using his body, his mind, his senses. But whatever he is doing, he's not attached to the results of that work. That is a sannyasi. So this type of sannyas is actually required. It's one of the limbs for pure devotional service. Not being attached to the fruits of your work. It is actually required. One of the limbs of pure devotional service, this type of sannyas. So sannyas is not just a ritual, it is actually a state of your consciousness. So like this. So all these points, simply by chanting this verse, Mahaprabhu is making this statement loud and clear that even though he has accepted this Ekadanda sannyas, he is not an Ekadanda sannyasi, he is a Tridandi sannyasi. One more point. There Srila Prabhupada said, therefore, anyone who is a sincere devotee, when he accepts sannyas, along with the 3 dandas, he includes one more danda, the Jiva danda. So he will have 4 dandas wrapped into one. So by chanting this mantra, Mahaprabhu is saying in this one danda, there are 4 dandas. Mind, body, and words, and the living entity itself. They're all meant for the service of the Lord. So when you add the 4th danda, that clarifies any questions or doubts one may have about after liberation, then we'll become one. Now, as long as I'm not liberated because I'm covered by this Maya, so therefore I have whatever is in my possession this body, mind and words I may use in the service. But once I'm liberated, then I'm same as him. One may think like that. So to remove that possibility also, the fourth danda, jiva danda, is also added. That means eternally, this living entity is eternal. So this living entity is completely in the service of the Lord. So all four are offered in the service of the Lord. Then also towards the end of the purport, we saw how various Vaishnava acharyas accepted sannyas. Uh, we saw Gadadhar Pandit, an intimate associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He accepted sannyas. Um, from he accepted sannyas. It's not mentioned exactly from where, but he accepted sannyas. And his disciple, uh, he gave sannyas to one of his disciples, and that person uh, spread is known, or his descendants is known as the Vallabh Sampradaya in Gujarat in the west. And also we saw about Gopal Bhatta Goswami accepted sannyas from his uncle Prabodhananda Saraswati. But they're all Tridandi sannyasis. That's the point. Tridandi sannyasis. Even about Sridhar Swami, who is the original commentator of Srimad Bhagavatam, um, he accepted sannyas from the Advaita school. So people think that he's a Mayavadi philosopher. No, he's actually a Vaishnava philosopher. Because same, just like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in this one danda, within this one danda, there are actually four dandas. That is Vaishnava. So all these points, that's why such a long purport. Mahaprabhu is chanting this mantra, this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. What is the significance behind that? Is that whole purport of uh, who is a sannyasi and what is Paratma Nishtha, and how this Paratma Nishtha is essential part, or sannyas means this Paratma Nishtha, being dedicated to the service of the Lord. And then giving historical references. So Mahaprabhu is very clearly making a statement that sannyas is not about I'm one with the Supreme. It means my life is dedicated to the service of the Supreme Lord eternally. So now, in this way, Mahaprabhu is traveling in the land of Radhadesh, continuously chanting this verse of the Avanti Brahmana. Next, text 7. Prabhu ko hai sadhu ei bhikshura vachana mukunda sevanavrata koila nirdharana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu approved the purport of this verse on account of the determination of the mendicant devotee to engage in the service of Lord Mukunda. He gave his approval of this verse, indicating that it was very good. So Mahaprabhu is reciting this verse, which was spoken by Avanti Brahmana. So by reciting it himself, Mahaprabhu is approving the purport of that verse. What is the meaning of that verse? What is the purpose behind that verse? What is the consciousness of that Brahmana when he is reciting this verse? He was determined to engage in the service of Lord Krishna. That's what we see in that verse. This Brahmana is determined, he's a mendicant sannyasi, right? He doesn't have his home or anything. He's just a mendicant. So even though he's a sannyasi, even though he's a mendicant, his determination to serve Lord Krishna, Mahaprabhu is approving this, the purport of the verse spoken by Avanti Brahmana. Mahaprabhu is approving it. So how did he give his approval? By chanting it himself again and again and saying that this is very good, this is very good, right? Being determined to engage in the service of the Lord, even though you may be a sannyasi. This is very good. Paratmanishta matra vesha dharana mukunda sevaya hoy samsara tarana. The real purpose of accepting sannyas is to dedicate oneself to the service of Mukunda. By serving Mukunda, one can actually be liberated from the bondage of material existence. So, what is Paratma Nishta? Paratma Nishta, we already discussed, means being determined to render devotional service to the Lord. That is Paratma. Paratma means Krishna. Nishta means determination. Right? Devotional service to the Supreme Lord, being determined to render devotional service to the Lord. Matra means only. Paratmanishta matra vesha dharana mukunda sevaya hoy samsara tarana. So what is this acceptance of sannyas? Vesha dharana means you are accepting this, that sannyas order of life. You are accepting that dress of a sannyasi, right? Changing the dress. What is the only purpose of this, or what is the only significance of the change of your dress as a sannyasi? What, when you see someone wearing the dress of a sannyasi, what does that indicate? What is the only meaning to a sannyas dress? Generally, we think sannyas means giving up this world, isn't it? But here from Vaishnavas, what it means. Sannyas, when you see someone in a sannyas dress, the only meaning of sannyas is Paratmanishta. Paratmanishta means dedication to devotional service to the Lord. That's all. Paratmanishta matra vesha dharana. This vesha dharana, this sannyas vesh, the only purpose or the only meaning of this sannyas dress is Paratmanishta, devotional service to the Supreme Lord. Mukunda sevaya hoy samsara tarana. By this devotional service to Mukunda, to Krishna, one is liberated, one crosses this ocean of material existence. One crosses the ocean of nations simply by rendering devotional service to Mukunda. And that's exactly what that verse of Avanti Brahmana is also saying. He is determined to render devotional service to the lotus feet. Being fixed in the shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, I am going to cross this ocean of nations. And that is actually sannyas. That is what is sannyas. And it is only by this type of devotional service to Krishna can one cross the ocean of material existence. Okay? The real purpose of accepting sannyas is to dedicate oneself to the service of Mukunda. By serving Mukunda, one can actually be liberated from the bondage of material existence. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In this connection, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the sannyas order and recommended the determination of the Avanti Pura Bhikshu to engage in the service of Mukunda. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accept the sannyas order, and by accepting this, Mahaprabhu is recommending the determination of this Avantipura Bhikshu, the mendicant, right? Avantipura is mendicant. What was his determination? To engage in the service of Mukunda. He accepted the Brahmana's version due to his determination to serve Mukunda. Not that, oh, going begging door to door. That's not the highlight. What is the Lord accepting in that verse? The Lord is accepting this Brahmana's determination, not just his being mendicant. The importance is his determination to serve Mukunda. That's what Mahaprabhu is accepting. The sannyasi dress is actually an attraction for material formality, isn't it? It is an attraction. Sannyasi dress is an attraction for material formality. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not like such formality, but he wanted the essence of it, service to Mukunda. Such determination in any condition is Paratmanishta. Right? What is the determination? To render service to Mukunda under all circumstances, with all my resources, whatever I may have, my body, my mind, my words, my life, my breath, everything, to render devotional service to Mukunda. When I have that type of determination, that is called Paratmanishta. That is required. The conclusion is that the sannyas order depends not on the dress, but the determination to serve Mukunda. That is why we will see, even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also says, one thing about Shastra is you will never find contradictions in the conclusion of Shastra. Whether you take the message from Bhagavatam or you take it from Bhagavad Gita or from our acharyas like Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's statements from Chaitanya Charitamrita, there won't be any contradictions. The same point will be said again and again, but it doesn't matter what is the time lapse in between. One was spoken by Krishna, other was spoken by Sukadev Goswami, and then here Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. It will be the same thing. There won't be any difference. So about sannyas, Srila Prabhupada also says, sannyas, you can be a grihastha sannyasi. You heard that, right? Grihastha sannyasi. That means you are a grihastha, you have a wife and children, and you have, you're maintaining your family, but your consciousness is, you're not attached to anything, you're not attached to the results, you're completely dedicated, you don't consider any of it to be yours, you don't take any proprietorship, rather you see yourself as a servant of the Supreme Lord. In your consciousness, at every moment, your consciousness is you are a servant of the Supreme Lord. And this type of determination to serve the Supreme Lord, that is sannyas. That is Paratmanishta. And this Paratmanishta is a synonym, you can say. It's synonymous to sannyas. This is actually sannyas. Being determined to render devotional service to Krishna, that is sannyas. Simply wearing this dress, carrying a danda, which is quite attractive, Srila Prabhupada says, it is, of course, there's no doubt about it. It is very attractive. To us, when we see a sannyasi, we become very much attracted. Oh, right, Maharaj, you bow down and you feel, if it is announced that some sannyasi is visiting the temple to give class, then you see everyone will come to listen because sannyasi, right? So it's natural to get that type of attraction. But what is the whole idea of attraction to sannyasi? Is it just because he carries a danda and he has this dress? Is that your only attraction? Or because he's given up this world? Is that the only attraction? No. Understand it from Vaishnava perspective. Why he is so attractive? Because he has dedicated his everything, his mind, his body, his words, himself, the living entity, to the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, this is the real meaning of sannyas. We shouldn't be carried away by the formality of the dress. Sei vesha koila ebe vrindavana giya, Krishna nishevana kori nibhrite basiya. After accepting the sannyas order, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided to go to Vrindavan and engage himself wholly and solely in the service of Mukunda in a solitary place. So what's happening? Mahaprabhu took sannyas in Katwa and now he started and he's chanting this verse of Avanti Brahman. What is that verse saying? It is showing his determination to engage in the service of Krishna. So I will go to Vrindavan. Vrindavan is the place of Krishna. And there completely with this Paratmanishta, because I've accepted sannyas order. Sannyas order means what? It means Paratmanishta, complete determination to engage your body, mind, and words and yourself in the service of Lord Krishna. So I'm going to go to Vrindavan. There I'm going to dedicate myself completely, everything that I have in the service of Krishna. With this determination, Mahaprabhu left from Katwa to go to Vrindavan in a solitary place, it is said. Eka boli chale Prabhu, Premonmadera chinna dig vidik jnana nahi kiba ratri dina. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was en route to Vrindavan or en route to Vrindavan, all the ecstatic symptoms became manifest, and he did not know in which direction he was going, nor did he know whether it was day or night. So, Mahaprabhu had already revealed his ecstasies even when he was a Grihastha. When did he begin actually revealing his mission and his purpose of coming, of descending to this world? When Mahaprabhu went to Gaya and he took Diksha from Ishwarapuri. Actually, there itself, in Gaya, when he saw the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, immediately tears were flowing from his eyes. He went into ecstasy. And then when he returned from Gaya back to Navadvip, everyone saw he was constantly in separation from Krishna, weeping, crying. He's always, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Actually, even before that, also, before even going to Gaya, on the way there, he exhibited his ecstasies, but nobody understood. They were thinking, he got some, there, Mahaprabhu got very high fever, and, he was actually in ecstasies. But he said, the reason is, I need to get I think the foot wash of some Brahmanas, devotees, then that will cure my disease, like that. But openly he revealed his ecstasies when he came back from Gaya. So the point is, he was already manifesting these ecstasies before accepting sannyas. When he was a grihastha in Navadvip, he was doing, these all night long kirtans, so many ecstasies. He was, like the other day in Chaitanya Bhagavat, we were reading, they performed the Abhishek of Nityananda Prabhu in Raghav Pandit's home. They performed Abhishek of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, Nimai, right? In Srivas Thakur's home. And, they would do kirtans, they would sing Gaur Arti for Mahaprabhu, performing Abhishek. So, he was already exhibiting his ecstasies. And we read what these ecstasies were like in the second chapter, right? How he's feeling separation, trembling, voice choking up, crying, all these fainting. So when Mahaprabhu left for Vrindavan, he was in this ecstasy. All these ecstasies were manifest in his body. Okay. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was en route to Vrindavan, all the ecstatic symptoms, all of them, right? All ecstatic symptoms became manifest in him. And he did not know in which direction he was going, nor did he know whether it was day or night. That's the nature of these ecstasies. Whether you see them in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or in Nityananda Prabhu, or his associates, or in any person where Nityananda Prabhu casts his mercy, you see, right? We saw in Panihati how even small children were uprooting big, big trees. And 6, 7 trees at a time they were uprooting and throwing here and there. Small children. How? Because they were not in external consciousness. And nobody ate or drank anything, didn't sleep for 3 continuous months. How? Nobody was in external consciousness. They were all in ecstasy of love of Godhead. So Mahaprabhu was also, of course, he is the original, supreme. So he's in this ecstasy of love of Godhead. So all ecstasies were manifest in his person. Nityananda Acharya Ratna Mukunda Tina Jana Prabhu Pache Pache Tine Korena Gamana. So when Mahaprabhu went, who all accompanied him? When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went toward Vrindavan, Nityananda Prabhu, Chandrasekhar Acharya, and Mukunda, Prabhu Mukunda followed him. 3. Nityananda Prabhu, Chandrasekhar Acharya, and Mukunda followed Mahaprabhu. जय जय प्रभु देखे से लोका प्रेमा वेशे हरि बोले खंडे दुख शोका. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed through Radhadesh, whoever saw him in ecstasy, exclaimed, Hari, Hari. As they chanted this with the Lord, all the unhappiness of material existence diminished. See, in Radhadesh, one thing that we noted when we were reading in Chaitanya Bhagavat, nobody would chant the names of the Lord. Mahaprabhu was actually becoming sad that nowhere could he hear anyone chant the names of the Lord. He's walking and walking, nobody ever chanted the names of the Lord. And as he was walking, he saw one little boy chanting Hari, Hari, and he was wondering, how come? How come in this place where no one chants, this boy is chanting? And then he asked, is the Ganga nearby? And they said, yeah, it's just no wonder. That means anyone who is so many miles radius of Ganga, they will be, by the influence of Ganga Devi, they will have this, devotion to the Lord, or they will be able to chant the names of the Lord. So, when Mahaprabhu was manifesting these ecstasies, even there, where nobody was chanting, by seeing his ecstasies, spontaneously people were chanting Hari Hari by seeing Mahaprabhu's ecstasies. And because of this, all inauspiciousness, all miseries of that place were removed. All material miseries were removed by chanting the names of the Lord. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed through Radhadesh, whoever saw him in ecstasy exclaimed, Hari, Hari. As they chanted this with the Lord, all the unhappiness of material existence diminished. गोप बालक सब प्रभु के देखिया, गोप बालक सब प्रभु के देखिया, हरि हरि बोली डाके उच्च कुरिया. All the cowherd boys who saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passing joined with him and began to shout loudly, Hari, Hari. This was the effect of Mahaprabhu's association. Even those who were not, but now because they saw Mahaprabhu chanting, they got enchanted and they also started chanting Hari Hari along with Mahaprabhu. Shunita sabara nikata gela gaura Hari, bolo bolo bole sabara shire hasta dhari. When he heard all the cowherd boys also chant Hari Hari, chanting Hari Hari, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very pleased. He approached them, put his hand on their heads, and said, Go on chanting like this. How fortunate. So Mahaprabhu went to them. He was very pleased that they were also chanting. It may be fun for fun, boys, right? So they saw Mahaprabhu chanting. They also said Hari Hari. But Mahaprabhu was so pleased. He went to them. He put his hand on their head. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu putting his hand and saying, Go on chanting. So they're delivered. Go on chanting like that. तासबार स्तुति कोरे तुम्हारा भाग्यवान कृतार्थ कोरिले मोरे shunaya harinam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thus blessed them all, saying that they were all fortunate. In this way, he praised them. Why they are fortunate? Because they are chanting. They were all fortunate. In this way, he praised them, and he felt very successful because they chanted the holy name of Lord Hari. He felt successful. So this is the success of a preacher. That if anyone chants the names of the Lord, then that is the success of the preacher. If you're able to induce others to chant the names of the Lord, then that is your success. So Mahaprabhu, when he saw that these little boys, cowherd boys, they said Hari Hari, he became very pleased. He blessed them. You go on chanting. He praised them. You are so fortunate that you are chanting because no one else is chanting here, but you are chanting. You are so fortunate. He acknowledged it. He praised it. And himself, he felt, this is my success, that these people are chanting. He felt very successful. Mahaprabhu felt very successful because they chanted the holy name of Lord Hari. Gupteta sabake ani Thakura Nityananda Shikhaila Sabakare Kuriya Prabandha. Calling all the boys in confidence and telling a reasonable story, Nityananda Prabhu instructed them as follows. So now remember, Mahaprabhu is not an external consciousness. Yes, He is in ecstasy. And he is headed towards Vrindavan. He's going towards Vrindavan. And Mahaprabhu is very pleased with these cowherd boys. He's glorifying them. He's very happy with them. So Nityananda Prabhu called these boys privately and he told them a story and gave them an instruction. What is that? Nityananda Prabhu told them a reasonable story and then he instructed them as follows. वृंदावना पथ प्रभु पूछे न तुम्हारे गंगा तीरा पथ तबे देखाई तारे. If Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asks you about the path to Vrindavan, please show him the path on the bank of the Ganges instead. So some reasonable story Nityananda Prabhu has said. We don't know what it is, but he told them some reasonable story why you should tell like this, right? We don't know, so we cannot speculate. But he gave them some reason. So therefore, if he asks you which way will take me to Vrindavan from here, which road to take, which path to take, or which direction to travel in to go to Vrindavan, you direct him towards the path which takes him to the Ganga. Okay? Direct him to that path which takes him along the Ganga, to the Ganga, and then along the Ganga. And Nityananda Prabhu gave a reason, whatever, some reasonable story he said. But if Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asks you about the path to Vrindavan, please show him the path on the bank of the Ganga instead. तबे प्रभु पूछी लेना सुनो शिशु गण कहो देखी कौन पथे जाबो वृंदावन शिशु सब गंगा तीरा पथ देखाइला सेई पथे आवेशे प्रभु गमन करिला. When the cowherd boys were questioned by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about the path to Vrindavan, the boys showed him the path on the bank of the Ganges. And the Lord went that way in great ecstasy. Right? Oh, this is the way? Okay, because Mahaprabhu is on the way to Vrindavan. So this is the way? With great enthusiasm and great ecstasy, Mahaprabhu started going in that direction on the path shown by the boys. Which path did they show? They showed the path which was going on the bank of the Ganga. Acharya Ratnere Kohe Nityananda Gosai Shighra Jaha Tumi Advaita Acharya Rathai. Nityananda Prabhu is making this whole plan. First of all, he told the boys, guide Chaitanya Mahaprabhu towards the Ganga. When he asks for the path to Vrindavan, guide him towards Ganga. And then who all were traveling with Mahaprabhu? Nityananda Prabhu, Chandrasekhar Acharya and Mukunda. So Nityananda Prabhu called Chandrasekhar Acharya. So now Mahaprabhu started off on that path. Yeah, in great ecstasy he is going. And Nityananda Prabhu is telling Chandrasekhar Acharya, what is he telling him? As the Lord proceeded along the bank of the Ganges, Nityananda Prabhu requested Acharya Ratna. Acharya Ratna is another name for Chandrasekhar Acharya, to go immediately to the house of Advaita Acharya. Okay, so you go before Mahaprabhu reaches. You go quickly to Advaita Acharya's home. Prabhu loye jabo ami tahara mandire Swadhane rohe na jena nauka loyatire. Prabhu loye jabo ami tahara mandire. I will take Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and I will go to Advaita Acharya's mandir. Savadhane, very carefully, rohena jena nauka loyatire. Let him bring a boat there, right? Sri Nityananda Goswami told Chandrasekhar Acharya, I shall take Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the bank of the Ganges at Shantipur, and Advaita Acharya should carefully stay there on the shore with a boat. He should be there with a boat on the shore of the Ganga. I will take Mahaprabhu to the Ganga, and Advaita Acharya should be ready there on the bank of the Ganga with a boat. This was Nityananda Prabhu's instruction to Chandrasekhar Acharya. Tabe Navadvipe tumi koriho gamana sachi saha loya aisa saba bhakta gana. Okay. So then after you go and give this information to Advaita Acharya, right? After that, Nityananda Prabhu continued, I shall go to Advaita Acharya's house and you should go to Navadvip and return with Mother Sachi and all the other devotees. You got it? So first, he called Chandrasekhar Acharya and said, I'm bringing Mahaprabhu to the bank of the Ganga. Meanwhile, you go ahead. Tell Advaita Acharya to be there ready with a boat before we arrive. Advaita Acharya, by the time we arrive there, Advaita Acharya should be there. Why? Because we'll be going to his house. He should be there ready with the boat. And then, while I go with Mahaprabhu to Advaita Acharya's home, obviously with Advaita Acharya, you should go to Navadvip and call all the devotees, Sachimata and all the other devotees from Navadvip, bring them to Advaita Acharya's home. Yes, I shall go to Advaita Acharya's house and you should go to Navadvip and return with Mother Sachi and all the other devotees. तारे पाठाइया नित्यानंद महाशय Mahaprabhura age asi dilo parichay. After sending Acharya Ratna to the house of Advaita Acharya, Sri Nityananda Prabhu went before Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and gave notice of his coming. That means that I'm coming, right? He's Nityananda Prabhu is letting Mahaprabhu know that I'm going with you, right? I'm coming. So Sri Nityananda Prabhu went before Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and gave notice of his coming. प्रभु कोहे श्रीपाद तुम्हारा कोथा के गमना श्रीपाद कोहे तुम्हारा संगे जाबो वृंदावन. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in ecstasy and he asked. So Nityananda Prabhu, he after giving all these instructions to Chandrasekhar Acharya, then he quickly went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he kind of let him know, like let's say if somebody is coming from behind to you're walking and someone is coming from behind to catch up to get your attention, what will they do? Like something, make some sound to let them know that I'm here also, like that. So whatever way, Nityananda Prabhu gave indication to Mahaprabhu that I'm also going with you, like that. So Mahaprabhu was in ecstasy. He said, Nityananda Prabhu, where are you going, Nityananda? So he says, I'm going to Vrindavan with you. Right? You're going to Vrindavan. I'm also going to Vrindavan with you, like that. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in ecstasy and uh, he asked where Nityananda Prabhu was going. So he said, where are you going? Shripad, where are you going? And Nityananda Prabhu replied that Tomar Sange Jabo Vrindavan. He was going with him toward Vrindavan. Prabhu kohe koto dure ache Vrindavan. Teho kohe na koro ei Yamuna darshan. So then Mahaprabhu asked, when the Lord asked Nityananda Prabhu how far it was to Vrindavan, Nityananda Prabhu replied, just see, here is the river Yamuna. So they were going to the Ganga, right? They traveled 3 days. And in 3 days they reached Vrindavan. But because Mahaprabhu is in ecstasy, he couldn't calculate or think anything. He was not in external consciousness. So Nityananda Prabhu was going and he said, where are you going? I'm going to Vrindavan with you. How far is Vrindavan from here? Oh, here it is. We see Yamuna. Yamuna. Do you see Yamuna? That means we are in Vrindavan already. Like that. Do you see Yamuna? Just see, here is the river Yamuna. एत बोली अनिल तारे गंगा सन्निधाने आवेशे प्रभुरा होइलो गंगारे जमुना ज्ञाने. Saying this, Nityananda Prabhu took Chaitanya Mahaprabhu near the Ganges, and the Lord in his ecstasy, oh, I have reached Vrindavan, right? In his ecstasy, accepted the river Ganges as the river Yamuna, right? He probably offering prayers to Yamuna, Dandavata obeisances, bathing in Yamuna, like that. So Mahaprabhu, in his ecstasy, accepted the river Ganges as the river Yamuna. So Nityananda Prabhu took Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the Ganga and said, here is Yamuna. Aho bhagya Yamuna re pailum darshana eta boli Yamuna ra korena stavana. The Lord said, oh, what good fortune! Now I have seen the river Yamuna. Thus thinking the Ganges to be the river Yamuna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to offer prayers to Yamuna Devi. Standing on the banks of Ganges, Mahaprabhu is thinking, now I am in Vrindavan, finally, right? And he's offering prayers to Yamuna Devi. Yeah, the rest we will do tomorrow. Thank you all so much. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We'll continue tomorrow.
Hare Krishna, Mata.